Proxy Table Gaming, YouTube. You always talk about YouTube. I'm Hyper G, the dancing cowboy as Lucky Sixes.
I do need a hat. You're right.
Yes, yeah.
I need a hat.
I don't think that dance was actually cowboyish, but it just seemed to roll off the tongue. So, yeah, there you go.
Yes.
You'd have to
Right.
redo your hair if you had a hat, though. And I know how long that takes
No,
you, so.
it does a long time. But so yeah, get on the Patreon. I need a hat. Basically,
Yeah,
is what.
I mean,
Um,
that's got to be the next purchase, isn't it? Yeah.
couldn't be a more seamless link right there.
No.
Really. Hello everybody. How are you, Hype?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really good. It's quite a year already,
I know. Isn't it
and
just?
yeah, it's great to just be having some fun, rolling dice as always
Yeah.
is, really, and
Yeah.
virtual or otherwise.
And well, it's funny you should say that actually, because today we are here for a battle report on Warhall, and it
Hey.
is of the Vampire Covenant and Orcs and Goblins variety. Of course,
Yeah,
both are armies leading into the Art of War.
it is.
And
It is.
so we thought we'd have a bit of a skirmish with some Art of War scenarios as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not to say that we will definitely take these armies to Art of War. It's strongly likely, because I haven't done any practice with anyone else in Ninth Age for a little while. But yeah, I would play around with these and see what changes in our lists before Art of War if we do take these armies. But Warhall's
Yeah.
looking great at the minute, isn't it? Obviously, it's
It
getting
is.
constantly updated, all the changes.
Yes.
Looking to do new things, and it's great to be able to play it regularly. So thank you to Hugo for all the effort him and his team are putting into it.
Yeah, man. And to kick things off, we have the Vampire
Love
Covenant
these.
to
Love
start.
these.
And that is...
I really love that you've got your ink pen out for each of these. You know,
I know,
like that
I
each of
know.
them takes
Scanned
like.
in, this is.
Oh, I
This is...
was going to do the whole quill thing, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, I've done on a bit of
Oh,
paper.
yeah, you did it on a bit. Then you scanned it. I'm with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Very, very dedicated to this.
But yeah, I would say this is my list, but actually I've completely scabbed it off
You have.
one of the Masters players, Elliot Fromont, who is...
You could call him the People's Champion.
You could. He's our champion. He's my champion.
Your champion.
That's for sure. It's just, yeah. And I really like the list because it drummed up some memories of years past.
The double vampire count.
The double
killy
vampire
characters.
count. Killy lords. And I just love it. And I've tweaked it ever so slightly to accommodate my models. But also to get Donny out of the woodwork. Donny Dark Coach.
He's there.
Of course.
Yeah, great.
I played with him a long time, and
he didn't go to ETC with you, did he?
He didn't, and I felt a bit bad. And neither did Varky either.
No.
Super original name as well, by the way. If anybody says anything else. But yeah, so essentially, I've got two killy vampires, both on occultism, with a couple of heals. That's really all you need to know. There is some more in-depth things. Two units of skeletons.
It's about 19 less spells than your ETC list.
It is.
Yeah.
If you half it, yeah. Two big units of skeletons with Banner Relentless Company. 2 units of dire wolves with bat swarms as the chaff. A big unit of Baronites. Donny Dark Coach. 5 Vampire Knights with Flaming Standard just in case, and Varkalak for all the shenanigans. So yeah, it's just come at you pretty aggressive vampire list, and I love it.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Moving on to Year of the Orc, and this hasn't changed from our last battle.
It changed slightly. It changed ever so slightly. I took out the Crown of Autocracy on the Goblin Demagogue on the pet monster. And he got supernatural dexterity instead. So changed the crown for a tiny discipline bubble for being able to strike really quickly because he's already high agility anyway. And that left me 10 points to also throw the potion of strength on my Goblin Witch on a Beastie Chariot as well. Yeah. So it was literally 30 points out, 30 points in. Simple as that, really. Nothing fancy. But yes, so, I mean, obviously, see the last battle report, but going through it really quickly. Orc Shaman on Shamanism with Magical Alien Rod of Battle, so standard Wizard Master with 6 spells, pretty cool. The Orc Warlord, I think we asked for a name in our battle report that's only just gone out, so obviously we won't know what names you've suggested yet, but give us a name for Orc Warlord. He's paired weapons Touch of Greatness, so not the Axe of the Apocalypse, and a 5-up ward save, push to swiftness, which I take on all my fighting characters. Goblin Witch on a chariot. He's using witchcraft, but does come with Essence of a Free Mind in case he wants to go pyro instead. I think I go witchcraft on this battle. We'll find out in a bit. Pretty sure I did. And the aforementioned potion of strength. Another goblin, a goblin demigod on a pet monster. He goes in with the trolls, and he gets an extra channel as well to make me channel 3. Goblin demigod on a beastie chariot, just to complete the 3 goblins grotto chariot boys. Big unit of veteran orcs, big unit of feral orcs. The veteran orcs have spears, the ferals have whatever weapons they like because of the crude weapon rule. And they've got the Relentless Company to march forward and cause problems. A unit of 10 feral orcs who are looking to redeem themselves after running off the battlefield to a phoenix charge in our last battle. If you've not seen that one before watching this one, then shame on you for not doing them in order. But
look out for the phoenix.
Absolutely, yeah. A big unit of 15 veteran orc marauders because orcs are just so good mounted at the moment. They're head bashers with the battle standard bearer and all that jazz. 8 bridge trolls have the pet monster demigod with them. An iron orc chariot, which I am loving more and more the more I use it, honestly. 10 Gogtuck for the ambush shenanigans, and 2 wrecking teams just because I have 2 very nicely painted wrecking team models. Yeah. So yeah, there you
go. We played Frontline Clash and Spoils of War Star, and of course Spoils of War Star just means it's a variation which is Out of War has taken it, but Out of War it tends to have some pretty cool scenarios. This one essentially is just exactly like Spoils of War, but get the spoil as close to your enemy backline as possible, and the unit carrying a spoil that is closest to the back line of your enemy's deployment zone wins. Simple.
Yes. One spoil is all you need. Like even if the opponent has 2 spoils and gets halfway to your deployment zone, if you get 1 spoil as far as possible, you win all 3 points. No messing. So it's kind of a bit of a breakthrough as well as a spoil, because obviously you have to be scoring to carry a spoil, but breakthrough is getting to your opponent's deployment zone. But it's a version of that, and it sounds fun. And we wanted to try it.
And we wanted to try it.
Fun it was.
It's all practice, and so that's what we did. This is, of course, deployment.
Nice.
As the screen will be telling you.
I'm glad it told me because I was confused already at that point.
Yes.
And brought me back on track.
I'll start. I have Donnie Dark Coach, skeletons, bat swarms. I've got the big Barrow Knight bus in the middle, 2 Dungeons of Dire Wolves, a Vampire Knights, and a Varklak out on that right-hand side as we're looking at.
Yeah, you just spread yourself out, and you dropped for first, didn't you? And literally, because it was Frontline Clash, it was literally boom, classic lucky 6s, straight down, no messing, wasn't it?
It was.
And that did afford me the opportunity. I mean, I'll start from my left as well. I'll say Iron Orc Chariot is there, but it did afford me the opportunity to get the trolls as far away from your flaming standard Vampire Knights as possible, with the pet monster in the front of them on the left going in. And then I got my big veteran Orc Marauder unit with the Warlord in. The Feral Orcs are in the middle, and behind them is the Feral Orc Marauder unit. To their right, as we're looking at it, is the veteran Orc unit on foot. So the ferals were 8 wide, the veteran orcs 7 wide, which is why same numbers but different formation. I've got the Grotto boys right at the back, playing them a little bit less aggressively, for now at least. And that's because 2 wrecking teams are in front of them, ready to chase down those vampire knights and cause them problems. The Gogduck Neophytes obviously not deployed yet because they're ambushing, which, I wasn't really sure how that was going to translate to the spoils and the breakthrough kind of objective. But nonetheless, you got ambush, why not use it?
Absolutely. In my first... this is actually Vanguard. the thing, and you don't have any Vanguard, so it was VC
No.
turn 1 Vanguard, but it's also the Vanguard. So my dogs basically come up as I've got first turn, and Vaki comes up, and it's at this point I realise how much versatility Vaki has in the first turn, because he's got such good movement. I think he's 816 as well, so it's like 28 inches. So that's
amazing.
A lot of inches there. For that guy. My dogs continue up and get rid of, or one of them anyway, gets rid of one of your wrecking teams. It goes bang.
It does go bang. Yeah.
And 6 of my 8 dogs. No, yeah, 6 of my. And it's at this point I go, I didn't really measure whether I could get both in one turn. That would have been good, wouldn't it? But this is how everything else ended up, and I essentially screen my Vampire Knights with my Varklak. It's a bold cotton strategy. Strategy cotton. What was it? Pulls it up. But yeah, I get to there. I wasn't expecting to have the wolves at all on that right side, so I just kind of moved them there. I thought, well, I'd have no idea whether this will be any good. I wasn't expecting them to have any sort of movement whatsoever, so we'll see. My big unit Baronites with characters just go up, and I if your veterans want to come in, they can, and my dogs chaff the other things, so I'm not getting the whole world in my face. But I think I can take 1-on-1, so I'll go do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have struggled to triple charge you anyway for room. But I could have double charged you. So
the skeletons
hiding behind your dogs, aren't you?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. That's what they're there for. Although I was thinking, I was like, I don't know whether I needed to at this point, but I wanted the spoil. The spoil was the main thing. On the left hand side, the Donnie Dark coach and skeletons just go up to sort of zone, I guess, the thing. But then I kind of realised that, well, you don't have any score in that side. I do. If you want to just keep me away from it, that's kind of okay, I guess.
Yeah, I think I've got more points over there than you have.
You've got a lot more points over there. I don't really know how best to play that, so I just kind of move up tentatively and move like that. And the other skeleton unit just moves slightly to the right to maybe countercharge if I need to. I don't know. They're not really there to do anything.
It was probably around this time that I realised that ruins in the middle is ruins, not impassable. Up until this point, I thought this was impassable. Not that it made any difference to what I'd done, because I'd only deployed at this point. But I was like, why is he moving his skeletons so near to their frontage in that impassable? And then it clocks on. Yeah, ruins. You can go right through that. You don't care about skeletons. Yeah.
So that ends the movement phase. Of VC 10-1. I get this is actually Hand of Glory off, and I think you let it off because you're like, well, I'm not.
I did.
I
did. I think you rolled really well, and so that put paid to any thoughts of a veteran or charge, basically, because giving them a Aegis save is
and I kind of realised the amount of spells that could buff them. I don't think I needed to chaff. I think I let my chaff go quite easy. I'm like, well, if I'm going to buff them with everything anyway, why did I chaff? I don't know. I don't have much range, so I'm like, well, maybe I need. But anyway, that was my only thought really of turn 1, and we lead on to your turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, have we got a little turn 1 orc, or have I missed my chance?
No, that's coming.
Have you missed one?
That's coming.
Oh, that's coming. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I suppose this isn't really turn 1. It's the charge.
Right? Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. So I mean, you actually gave me this idea, sort of. You. In putting the dogs there, you started manoeuvring, because you can do that on Warhall and it's really easy. You started manoeuvring to try and work out whether I could complete the charge with my Goblin Grotto Boy chariots. And because you did so much manoeuvring, it started making me think, well, I'm sure going to struggle to. Well, I can complete the charge with the whole unit, because you would close the door to me once I'd impacted. But what I can also do is just charge one Goblin chariot in. And what might be good, considering there's a Vampire Knight unit and a Varkalak, is to charge the one I care about the least, which is the single unit that isn't a character into your. I think, was it rear? At this point?
It is rear. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rare. And then after I declared the charge with the actual Goblin unit, you said to me something about, oh, the Demigod might have been better off doing that. And I was like, oh yeah, actually the Demigod could have actually caused you problems with everything else. But I stuck with the original Goblin unit. It was fine, and we'll see how that plays out. And I also charged the Feral Orcs into the Dire Wolves because,
to get rid of them.
like you say, why not? You were so kind as to put them there for me.
And as you can see, it's very close to a wall.
It is very close to a wall. Yes, because it meant that I could reform if I didn't want to overrun. I could reform and get distracting up my orcs, which is a blessing that feral orcs don't often get.
Yeah,
any kind of defensive nature.
Yeah. And I mean, the rest of your movement was as such fairly tentative.
Fairly tentative, although the trolls just rammed forward. They were like, "Nah, that spoil's ours, boys. We don't know what a spoil is, but we want it.
Yeah. Someone pick it up. We can't.
Yeah. Didn't get the memo there, but yeah. And other than that, I moved my veteran marauders back a little bit, just in case you minced through my feral orcs and caused me to have problems in my backfield. And obviously, with the war cry, I can charge really far with anything. So it doesn't matter that the marauders have gone back a bit. The veterans have just shuffled ever so slightly to make sure that the vampire knights are still in my front. I was giving a flank to the Varkalak, but my plan with the single goblin chariot was to get in the way of your Varkalak and vampire knights and cause you problems there and just hold you up from doing much with them. And I put my wrecking team just into the middle a bit more rather than wasting a d6 worth of hits. Because it's only 2d6 if I go through your Varkalak willingly. Whereas if you have to go through him, it's 3d6.
Yeah.
Which longer I can keep that as a threat, the better I felt.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we'll see how we progress from here.
Yeah. You get some magic off on me?
Deceptive Glamour. That was basically to just reduce your agility. So that if my feral orcs chose to overrun and fight you on your turn, my feral orcs would be attacking at the same time. I think it was
as the Baron Knights.
Yeah, obviously the characters not. Was it at the same time, or did I get the boost?
Yeah, it would have been because you're agility 2, I'm agility 3, so that would be at the same time. But yeah, but what does exactly happen is you kill the dogs and overrun into my Baron Knights, and I'm like, okay, let's go, baby, let's go. I counter with all of these charges. You do kill the dogs as well on that right side, we should say, and you get exactly enough to stop me going into your chariots, I think. Or something. There was something where it's exactly what you needed.
I think I did the ultimate power play and measured out exactly what I needed to roll, which was a 7 on Switch Ride. And worked out exactly where I would be and checked that if I rolled a 7, that the Varkalak couldn't charge the chariots. He could still wheel and charge the flank of the veteran orcs, but then he would die with the grind. So I wasn't worried about that. And then I went ahead and rolled a 7 on Swift Stride, and that was exactly where the Orc chariot ended up.
That was nice. So
it was brilliant.
Yeah, I've charged the Varkalak in, thinking that, well, if I can make you flee, then there is a chance that you take your own mangler out. So that's my plan there. He needs to be a little bit whiffy. I wouldn't mind a whiff if that's a thing. In the centre, my skeletons and bats go in to help out with offensive, defensive, and just to help out a little bit there. And on the left side, I go, well, you know what? Everything else that I want charging's going in. Let's put everything in. Donnie and the skeletons go into the trolls. Let's break these trolls. This is how it all ends up, and my vampire knights just go this way to go towards that end of your board edge. Really.
Yes, absolutely. Which I completely don't pick up on. I've not got a lot over there that can do much about it. Especially if that chariot dies to the Varkalak, which it will. So
so that's really literally my only other movement was the Vampire Knights, which is quite fun.
I've got a feeling the Deceptive Glamour was the boosted one, which meant that my Herlocks attack first.
Which was massive in the middle, because they actually do 7 wounds to me. How I still
Yeah.
don't know how they did 7 wounds. They did very, very good. Because they're only AP1.
I was only AP1.
Yeah.
AP1 with spears. Yeah.
And I got 2 up at it, but yeah, so incredible work there. I do a bunch back,
Of
so
course.
that's really cool. I think I do 7. It was 7. It looks like 1710
Yeah.
overall and things like that, whatever.
It
But
killed a
yeah,
few skeletons. Yeah. So
killed loads of skeleton. Yeah, and I did
everything
a
that
bunch.
could attack went on the Baronites.
Yeah.
And then I did 3 wounds to the skeletons. I actually had the hereditary off on my unit as well. Don't know where that
Yes.
token went, but it was giving me +1 to hit.
Yeah. So I took much more than I thought I was going to in that center. I killed the chariot on the right. Which unfortunate. I literally hit with everything and smashed him up. It wasn't
even close.
It wasn't close. And on the left side, I have an absolute mare where I only do 2 wounds with Donnie Dark Coach, which I was a bit. And I put most of the stuff into your guy so that you have low leadership then.
Well, you did 2 wounds and I saved 1, and then Troll Toll did nothing back to the Donnie Dark Coach. And
that,
then
in
the
terms of
skeletons
impact
did
hits.
1.
Yeah, and then I just did with my guys on top, did nothing to your dude. And then you just wailed on my skeletons. And it's at this point I just go, why did I put the skeletons in? Oh my goodness.
I didn't even scratch Donnie Dark Coach. Just left them alone. And just
so silly.
Yeah.
And you killed a bunch. There's a bit of crumble there as well. This is after combat. And yeah, I couldn't believe how silly I was. But anyway, we move on. And in the centre, at least, there is a bit of good news in that I break you and my skeletons actually kill you. No, actually, technically my bat swarms kill you.
Yes.
But I moved my skeletons first, so that it's like in this situation here. So my Baronites stay exactly where they are, leaving your veterans in the front. Because I've still got 2 killy vampires, so that surely will be enough. There. And it's a fairly long.
But this was your turn though, so it's a little while until you get to regrow any, which was kind of my thinking.
Yes, yeah.
Throwing the Feral Orcs in on my turn, to fight in your turn, because you hadn't lost any at the start of your magic phase, but by the end of your combat phase, you had lost some, and it was still a whole turn of mine before you would get a chance to regrow any, which is really important with Baron Knights.
Did my guy not do any wounds? Because he True Thirst, so he must have whiffed completely. Because I didn't regrow any at the end of the turn. There must have been something there, because I know we tried it later, so I think my general, for anybody watching, he just whiffed entirely, and all the other people.
I think this was the one where you really whiffed horribly with him.
I mean, I did loads of wounds, surprising, but with the specific general that has Blade of True Thirst, I whiffed. Over onto your turn, and I'll let you declare the charges.
Yeah, I mean, bearing in mind that I, kind of set up the idea of you not being able to regrow Baronites, I had to seize the initiative and go aggressive with the veteran orcs. So to charge into the Baronites, and I've got a full unit of 35 with Shaman as Master in there as well. Did I declare the war cry? I can't remember.
You must have, because it looks like a long charge. It looks like a.
It looks fairly long, doesn't it? And they're only movement 4, so I must have declared the war cry. Pretty sure. I also declare the Feral Orc Marauders into the front of the skeletons, which I figure was pretty much a obvious choice to make. I mean, I could have obviously declared that charge with the Veteran Orc Marauders instead and overkilled you, but at this point I felt like my Veteran Orc Marauders could let the Ferals, both units, and let the Veteran Orcs on foot go, and then see what you've got left in the middle. So I was keeping them back a bit. And then on the other...
should say as well, I got, before you do that, I got Breath of Corruption and chose not to use it in my last turn.
You did.
As well, because I wanted it for this turn. But on the left flank, you say?
I say that I charged the Iron Orc Chariot in, just to help out with the grind, really. Because as much as I did kill loads of skeletons last turn, I need to kill way more and to make sure you can't regrow, depending on how the center goes. But yeah, the Iron Orc is just something I'm loving so much. Yeah. And it's a great unit. So yeah, get him in there.
Yeah, man. And the rest of the movement, you didn't move anything else?
No, not really. I mean, the chariots were fine where they were.
Let's see.
I might have moved them.
Oh,
Can't remember.
this is. We go straight on to
Well,
combat,
we'll
so you
find
must
out.
not have. But loads of magic, baby. You got
Yes,
loads of
what a
magic this
turn for
turn.
magic. Yeah, absolutely. I got another deceptive glamour off, think,
You
which
did, yeah.
ensured because you were agility 3, I was agility 3 on the charge. So this time I only needed to get the -1 off to. Is that right?
That
Can't
would have been the
remember.
same. No,
It
no.
would. Oh yeah, yeah.
You're agility 2 to start, aren't you?
3 on the charge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it would have been the lower one I needed then actually. In fact,
To drop me
in
to
both
2. Yeah.
situations, yeah, to drop you to 2. So I did that again. But I think you just had a mare with your dispelling, really, didn't you?
I
You
did. You
dispelled
got
no,
everything off.
no, didn't you? I cast break the spirit actually, and I cast it really high. You had to use all your dispel dice on that one.
Okay, yeah.
Then I just managed to power through a couple of low casts on the others. One of those low casts being Savage Fury, which is kind of like just a bonus spell for me, really, to put battle focus on my veteran orcs. And then Awaken the Beast to give me more strength, which enabled me to get AP through the roof of their spears. So they're AP 3 now, which, and then we can see the result of the spells and the combat. This is basically killing off your Baronites before you even get a magic phase to grow any back.
Yeah, it was, and I remember this was I did do some wounds with the general this time.
You did,
but I had no to regrow. I couldn't do a new unit, so it was very unfortunate. And it was by the man as well, and I remember that because
literally last man.
I have taken one Baronite off of Elliot's list.
See, Elliot had that one on there for a reason.
So he knew. As you say, over on the left-hand side, skeletons.
Iron Orc, just not
so much for the other skeletons, though. There was a bit of a grind going on here.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I didn't kill anywhere near as many as I thought I would. I thought I would just go through that unit. But it turned out that the skeletons just speared me because they attacked first.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have spears?
No, I don't have spears. They're hand weapon shield.
Yeah, but I just couldn't get through parry with my attacks. And I lost like 4 because I needed a limited armor save. And yeah, just didn't do much back to you for the parry.
So I kind of there's not much left for me to do, so I'll let's go and put them in and see if I can get some sort of advantage from the bat swarms. It will reduce your offensive and defensive, so that might make me hit better as well as stopping you. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I get a regrow off on the skeletons and I think this is Hand of Glory or a Rot Within. I'm not sure. I think it's Hand of Glory.
It's Hand of Glory. You wouldn't have Rot Within my unit.
Yeah. So I get 2 spells off, so that's nice enough. In combat, I think I do 1 wound to you, and you hold.
Yeah. I think I needed to pass a break test though. I think I lost.
Yeah, it was. You lost.
Static, really.
It was pretty low, but you still passed it and you hold. So we carry on there, and I think you carry on in the middle. We only do 3 or 4. We more than carry on because you go back and with all your buffs, kill my BSB. There isn't a BSB. He's just second in command. And
yeah, I mean, weirdly in that combat, I threw my veteran unit in purely to stop you regrowing the Baronites, and then with that awesome turn of magic, I actually started winning the fight.
Yeah.
And killing your characters as well. And I was thinking, I've got this veteran marauder unit behind that were meant to clear up.
Yeah.
But there might not be any clearing up to do.
It was crazy.
How
they were
awesome
just
was that?
absolutely destroying me. And I was like, oh man, this unit. While lamenting the Dark Coach mistake as well. Over there.
You can see on the other flank in the background that I think the reason it looked like I hadn't moved my chariots was I don't think we'd moved the wrecking team, and the wrecking team basically ran into the impassable and stopped Yuvarkalak from charging the goblin chariots, and that is pretty much how it played out.
Yeah, and I stayed there to protect my things, and it was like, well, we're just going to carry on In my head, I was just like, right, I'll just try and get the objective then. I'll just try and win the
Yeah.
objective. That's fine.
And you notice that I haven't mentioned what I was doing with the objective. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. Well, it brings us to our last picture, and we can discuss that in length. And we will discuss it in length. Basically, what happens is I continue on with the Vampire Knights, get them right to the edge, and that's it for those two units over there. You do eventually, on the last turn, we sort of talk this out at this point because you end up killing my Vampire General, and that's a bit sad for
with
me.
the Orc unit. Yeah, how the hell that happened?
So you say, well, I'll just wait till the last turn and get him in on then.
See if I can kill a Varkalite with 2d6, and I didn't quite manage it. So I gave you those points in the end, but that's too much.
But basically, what happens in the middle is you charge in with your big unit to help out and kill the unit. You then, on your next turn, which is, I think, your turn 4 or 5, I can't remember, you then move up, and then you claim the objective to claim it on your next turn. And then the furthest you can get, we talked it through and measured it all out, was about 6 inches from the edge. And
I think that was also assuming that Feral Orc Marauder unit actually got through the skeletons, because we didn't actually roll that out, and let's face it, they weren't doing that well, so there was no guarantee. But this was basically just checking that there was no dispute that your Vampire Knights won the objective.
Yeah, so I think it was actually, because if you're talking, so you go on to it, so you end of turn 3 you kill me, on turn 4 you get onto the objective, and obviously you can't march with the thing, so you basically go your march for the next 2 turns, which should take us to there, which I think is what we said. And we tried going, well, would it be better for you to go with them or them? But because you wouldn't have enough movement even with the infantry to get right to the end at this point in the game.
And also, when you started working this out and started drawing it on, it was only then that I remembered that it wasn't just plain spoils of war, and that we weren't drawing the objective just by me claiming it. I also had to get it into the appointment zone. So I was actually quite a shock to me that I'd lost the objective. But that's good practice for Art of War, folks.
It is.
Remember what your actual objective is, and don't get complacent. So
just for everybody's thing, on turn 4 they do this. Turn 5 they do this. No, on turn 4 they get to here.
4 was that.
Turn 5
was
and
claim,
6
move up.
They get to here. So
exactly. But your Vampire Knights are sitting pretty. So.
Yes, which takes us to the end of the battle report. It comes as no shock to anyone that these things happened. Oh yeah, sorry. More animations. More animations. That I hardly got any points, but won the objective. So the 17-3 goes to 14-6. Well done, the Orcs and Goblins, absolutely smashing me up. And much to think about with my new vampire list. But it was a good game. It was good fun. Orcs are very good, especially the magic really synergizes well with them. So
yeah, I think the magic, the ability to get to cast 3 or 4 spells a turn if you want to, really boost your chances of getting 2 or maybe even 3 spells off at a time, like we saw in that critical combat in the middle. Because usually some armies or some setups, you're going to cast 3 spells and 2 of them are going to get dispelled. But when you can cast 4 spells, there's always a chance you're going to get 2 off, maybe 3 off on a lucky phase. And that's what this list is kind of built around. So it worked out really nicely for me there.
No, it was really, really good. Good fun battle, and leads us on to the next one. We've played each other a few times now, which is a rarity, really, actually.
Yeah,
in the last few years.
It is. Yeah, I mean, the first one we didn't do a battle report for, but the second and third one we did do a battle report, and in terms of battle reports, it go down as 1-1, right?
Absolutely. And that takes us on to some more battles. So I end up playing in future battles. I play the creator of the list in a battle, and you take on another master. as well?
I do.
Well,
Yeah.
entrance.
Another Masters player. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So we're both split in different directions for our next game, and we both against high caliber opposition, like you say.
Yeah, and
But
so
who are both in with a shout of winning the Masters at one point during the tournament. So
absolutely,
we'll
yeah,
leave that as a well. Yours is less of a tease because you already know who created the list that you're playing. But yeah,
yeah.
mine will leave it there.
But let us know what you think of both the lists. Let us know what you think of vampires and orcs as well. And if you're going to Out of War, let us know what you're taking, or you're thinking of. You don't have to give everything away. But
Because we do.
yeah. Although I do know at this point, I do know that I'm playing Ben Dunford.
Yes, you've been grudged, haven't
as a
you, for round one?
grudge. Oh,
He's a
yes.
Patreon, a very valued Patreon.
He is. So
You know,
it's an easy 20 for him, really.
uh,
But yeah,
he's a
so,
very good player. I've played him twice, lost both times. So a very good player. So yeah, not to be underestimated. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean you'll have a tough one. Tough one in round
but
one.
we've also not played in the years that we've known each other and stuff in any of the tournaments. So it's a good one to catch up on, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
It's a great start to the tournament. Yeah, really enjoyed both games I played with that.
So yeah, lots to look forward to. Let us know your thoughts on the lists and any tactics and stuff that we should do. Don't tell me that I shouldn't put the skeletons into the trolls. I don't need that.
He knows. He knows.
I don't.
He
need
does
that.
know.
Yeah.
He told himself many times throughout the rest of the battle. Yeah. But
but
every dice roll, it was I've rolled a 6, but I shouldn't have charged the skeleton.
it's just so. Yeah. But yes, let us know whether you enjoyed this bat rep and all of the new frilly things that comes with it as well. And otherwise, thanks very much for watching.
Yeah, if you haven't already suggested a name for the war boss, the orc war boss, please. Nice.
Yeah. So until our next battle reports in whatever shape and form they come, see you later.